Else ready to take care of that? Do that? Okay. All right, then, let's call this Community-Oriented Policing Committee to order. It's Monday, May 12th, 2025, 2 o'clock p.m. We do not have a quorum, so we will not be voting on items unless we do get a quorum. However, we can do everything else that's on here except for that. So let's go ahead with the roll call.
Mayor Mento.
I'm here.
Sheriff Department Captain Hernandez.
Here.
Santee School District Mike Olander.
Here.
Santana High School Brian Wilbur.
Here.
Institute for Public Strategies David Shorey.
Here.
Dr. Mark Foreman.
Here.
Mike Aiken.
Here.
We currently have 7 members present, Mayor.
Thank you very much. That goes to item number 3, which is updates on Neighborhood Watch and crime prevention.
We're going to be hosting a Coffee with the Community event next month at Target. As soon as the flyer is approved by Media Relations, I'll get that over to you guys so you can share it. And we're also going to be hosting 2 community meetings before the kids are out of school for summer about e-bikes, all things e-bikes, safety. So as soon as we get those dates, I'll get those to you also.
Very cool. You know where you're going to do the e-bike thing at?
We're hoping to do it here. We're just trying to get the room reserved.
Okay.
And then I'll have the dates for you guys.
Are you going to bring in e-bikes and talk about them, or who's the expert?
Our traffic division
Okay.
is going to be hosting.
Gotcha. Great. Thanks. Question?
Are you going to be talking about that riding e-bikes and scooters intoxicated is still a DUI, or could you bring that up?
They will.
Okay, good. Yeah. Awesome, thanks.
So what you're saying is they should have a slogan that says, buzzed biking is still drunk biking.
Yes, sir, that would be a wonderful motto to adopt.
Just remember, you heard it here first.
The reason I brought that up is that the countywide binge and underage drinking initiative is going to be focused on, I forget what they call it, but basically electric bikes and scooters and the DUI aspect of that for the next year.
Great. Probably should be talking to adults about that too, because I'll tell you what, I think there are some drunk adults out there the way they're driving. So, but thank you very much. Appreciate that. So then let's go to our program and the Total Altruism Project. Come on up.
All right, Total Altruism Project. My name is Gary Bloom. For those of you I've presented to, I am now, well, I'll start on this here. Total Altruism Project. That's me when I came up with this idea of picking up litter. It sounds really simple, but I picked up a piece of litter. Somebody thanked me as I went to throw it away, and I thought, God, that made me feel good, made that person feel good, which made me even feel better. It helped the environment. If I could replicate this, it would help out Parks and Service, help out health, and so I started this project. So along with this litter grabbing tool that I have here, there's a tether to it. So that was the little yellow thing that showed up. You guys see a pic? Oh, you guys don't see anything.
We see it right here.
Oh, and okay, all right. Let's see. So installed this in Allied Gardens Park in San Diego City Parks and Rec, their park, and people love it. I've got these things, the grabbers, hanging on these stations all around the park. People pick them up. They walk around the park with it. They walk through the park with it. They do family time with it. This at Allied Gardens, there is a second, what do you call it, the middle school, Lewis Middle School that abuts it. So their pickup station is right at number 1, which we were kind of curious how middle schools would do with it. They loved it. Some of them were pinching each other with it, but when I did it, I pinched my wife with it too, so I didn't hold it against them. But it's really good. Everyone's using it, and when they're done, they hang it back. They empty the trash in a nearby trash can, and they hang it back up. So here's Big Rock Park. I've got 4 stations at this park, okay, and we installed it April 12th, Saturday. First station is right at the entrance here, and that's what it looks like, right by a little bike stand. And we're kind of facing, the picture-wise, we're facing Chet Harrod School. The second one is down by the playground and by the pickleball courts. I try to keep, there's 4 stations at the park, and I try to keep 4 of these on for these small parks. So that's why a lot of times you'll see them averaging 4, and that's because there's people who go around who have kind of like this anal personality, and they have to have them all lined up and all equal, so it's kind of cool. This is right at the northeast corner where the entrance to, Mission Trails Park is. And then down at the very bottom and off to the left is the 4th one. Okay, so that's another entrance area. So that's what it looks like at your park. We have a history. So here's Allied Gardens Park with their 5 stations. Okay, and we've been there, so oops, let me go back. We've been there since November 1st. Okay, and we've been collecting data. The foundation that I started is a science and education-based foundation. That's our emphasis, because there's more to this than just what you see at the park that's going on. We then did it at Lake Murray Community Park and the Little League fields. And we've been there since April 9th, 2023. We're also at Princess Del Cerro Community Park, or Neighborhood Park, and that was installed November 1st, 2023. And if you notice the dates, November 1st, sometime early April, it coincides with spring break because we have something going on with Mesa College. So when they start a new class, they start a study on this. So I'll get into that later. And then this is at San Carlos Recreational Center, and we installed that April 1st also. Those two the same date. We also had one at Colina del Sol. We installed that April 1st. They did a study on it. There are a lot of homeless at this park, and they were taking as many as 10 a day. So we gutted it out for the study, and the study was great. 50%, over 50% of the litter was picked up in the park and cleaned up. So reduced litter that much. Parks and Rec, they loved it. When we interviewed them and surveyed them, 50% less litter pickup that they were doing, and almost all of the really small stuff, like they call it microplastics and stuff like that, confetti, bottle tops, things like that, that was almost all cleaned up. And that's the stuff that the Parks Department can't, or the management company can't really do. They can't spend their time doing those little things. So we closed that park up. Let me get on to this next one. So Kelly Wood, if you notice in the top part, let's see, is there a way to, a mouse, okay. Do you see a mouse on yours? Okay, Kelly Wood, she's the area manager for San Diego Parks and Rec. She manages all these parks. She was trained under Ann Morrison 30 plus years ago, okay? So she's managing these things. She was going to show up today, but she had some things go on at home. She's like a grandmother and has to babysit kids that the parents got sick on. So she couldn't show up, but I was gonna tell about her. She's 37 years in Parks and Rec, and she was the area manager. She's a longtime San Diego native, county native. So here's her picture. And the only reason I threw this in, that's her picture back in 1987. And I threw this in because I was a teacher at Claremont High School at the same time. So that's me there. So that's how we go back 2 generations, or twice back, because I also knew her at the Parks Department when my Kiwanis Club used to have their meetings at this Allied Gardens Rec Center. Anyway, she was going to tell you her experiences as the area manager and what her workers were talking to you about, but they all loved it. To this day, let's see, November 1st, 2022 was the day that we installed it. To this day, we have not had a single complaint, okay? This project is doing so well. The San Diego Mesa College, so I was a teacher at Claremont High School, biology, and I believe in sciencing. When I say science, I just want to prove that my stuff works. And in science, proving is that you have to have only one variable. Everything has to stay the same, and then you change one thing, and then if anything else changes, well, it has to be because of this one thing that was changed. So I started talking with Mesa College, and the biostatistics teacher, the one who teaches the class how to do a science project so that there's only one variable, and you have to take into consideration all of weather, people's actions, all sorts of things. and they have to do it statistically, and then they design this experiment. So I tell them, I act like I'm a professional, okay? I've got a business that I'm going to be installing these things. I need an environmentalist to prove that this works so I could use the data. So they have to design the experiment, and then they go around and they, at the end, they study all these different factors. They break into different groups, and 2 or 3 groups does the litter part of it, measuring all the different types of litter and everything. They get these baseline studies that makes it all equal. Everything seems to be stable. It's all, the litter is doing this, people are doing this. And then I install my project and they see what happens. They see what if the litter drops, and all the studies have shown that. And then they give this big presentation afterwards, and you can see how in this study here it dropped, I think, as much as 50% on this one. Total trash motto. So they're learning all sorts of statistics. The Biostatistics 200 class is the same at Cuyamaca's Bio 215, and I think there's another college too, Grossmont 215, Bio 215. All of these classes, if you were to go to a UC school or a higher education, it's accepted there as one of the transferable units and things like that, and it's used in the majors. So they love it, and basically they're doing real-world experience. We weren't able to do it last semester, two semesters, I guess it would be fall 2024, because the professor switched days, and now it was, instead of Tuesday, Thursday, it was a Monday class, which there's holidays. She didn't have enough time for it at that time. Also, she had very young kids, so it was too stressful. The biggest complaint last fall semester was that they weren't able to go out and collect their own data and do their own experiments. So it's back on, and we're doing it at Big Rock Park. So I was just gonna let her, okay, so this part here is education. So I've got college here. These are all the elementary schools at the San Diego Unified School District. There's 122 of them. And if you look at the third row over, first row is name of school, then address, and it says distance to park. And you can see the first 4 are abutting the park. Out of the 122 schools that are in the San Diego, elementary schools that are in the San Diego Unified School District, 52% of them are within 1 block of a park, okay? So that's important because as a teacher, I made up a teacher's guide for the park and the project. Teachers don't need anything out of this. Just as they're walking by, and if they're doing math and they know one of their students is having an issue with addition, they could say, how many are up there right now? How many more can go in there? How many more spaces are there, so they can do addition, subtraction. I've got these, there's 4 of them around the park. They could do multiplication. There's things on sanitary, not wanting to touch things with your hands, so you could talk about that. Altruism, which means doing something for someone else or something else without any concern of your own reward or actions, okay? It's an act of kindness. So they could teach, there's over 33 core curriculum standards that could be taught. I think it's curriculum standards that could be taught using this or reinforced using this. So I've presented at this is Foster Elementary School, which is within 1 block of Allied Gardens Park. I've also presented to Ted Hooks, at the principal at Chet Harrod, gave him a series of these, so they're going to be using this. That's what this thing looks like. Girl Scouts. Girl Scouts love it. They've been calling me up because they'll see it just as regular people walking through the parks, and they'll see these things. Then they've called me up on a number of occasions to do a community service in their area. I give them a whole bunch of these grabbers and nets, and they walk around and clean up the community. So this is it's a La Mesa one, but many of the students, these 2 especially, go to Chet Harrod School. So they wanted to do a project to earn their bronze award, and they called me up and they did a cleanup at Big Rock Park. That's how I got introduced to the park. They go to that school, so they've extended it on further there. And if you were to look at this, right up here I have thank you, Girl Scout Troop 5909, for starting a wave of conservation awareness in the Big Rock Park area, and sponsors, County of San Diego, because I did get $5,000 to help me with these other parks and all the parks in San Diego. And then I'm at the bottom with my wife, because we've been putting in a lot of money to it. Let's see.
Your wife's name's on top of your name.
Oh, yeah, always. I know the rules. I know it. Had a happy life. These are Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts that were in a park that did it. So they've been doing it also. The veterans of foreign wars, VFW, I got this picture just a month ago from a friend who took it. They saw these things, so they wanted to do a cleanup in their neighborhood, which is the Allied Gardens area at the first of the month. And just a couple days ago when I was at the park, it was Easter. I went there the day after or something, and someone had found this and stored it in there. So that's really the end of my presentation. I have some other interesting things. Let me go back, see if I can find the, might have to shoot back a ways to do this. Picture of the park. There. It was interesting because, oh, that's not the park, excuse me. I have to keep going. There. Interesting because I've been tallying. I go out quite often and I tally up the grabbers and see if any need repairs, anything needs to be done to them, just to see how they're doing. On May 9th, early in the morning, or no, it was 12:07 in the afternoon, Station 2, okay, by the pickleball courts had 0 on it. But Station 3 up at the top here had 7. Okay, so I'm looking over data. So 0, 1, and 7 another. Kind of made me feel like the people leaving the pickleball courts are cleaning up on the way out and then hanging them up there. Or they're people who take them up to the park, to Mission Trails Park, and then bring them back and dispose of them. The next morning, on May 10th, number 2 had 7, and number 3 had 4. So they're constantly being used. And so it's a real feel-good project. I mean, everyone loves it, and I just wanted to share it with you and let you guys know what's going on in your community. All right?
I got to tell you, Big Rock Park's next to my house. I can go down there and move those around and really mess with you.
I'll just say, hey, they're moving. It's great.
At least I'm moving, right?
And I'll find out, and I'll make another report to at least the city council members at the end of Mesa College's study, which should be coming up in a week or so, or 2 weeks, because their semester ends. I'll find out what exactly, how much it dropped in litter.
You know, James, this might be, if you haven't already done it, a good report to the SPARC, Santee Park and Recreation.
Okay,
Committee.
and I did, when I came to this, to the Santee council meeting many, many months ago, and you introduced me to Sparks, and I went through the whole process with the attorneys and got the right of entry and all of that. So I've been doing that, and I've been keeping up with them. I sent them a picture of the little teddy bear in the net,
Well, to be honest, we referred you to them because we figured just a crazy old man coming in here wanting to pick up trash, and they can get rid of him.
Old. I'm older. I'm not old. Yeah, I agree. It's a kooky idea, but everyone loves it.
Yeah. But that's the one good thing about when people come and present here, you just never know what kind of programs or initiatives are actually going to be successful. So you can't just say, oh, it's just an old guy, let's get rid of him as soon as we can, because some of us older gentlemen do have good ideas once in a while.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened with San Diego Parks and Rec. I started the idea 2018 and talked with Kelly 2019, and we didn't implement it in 2022. I mean, research, development, all of that. I've got Dr. Karen Durst, who is the director of the University of San Diego's mental and behavioral health clinic. She's my vice president, so she's the human behavior part of this and was pushing me on this. And Kelly, when I told her about it, she was hesitant, wondering about theft and people using it as, in a bad way. We haven't had any of that, and she was really surprised. And even at Kalina, Kelly's husband was working as a ground maintenance worker there. He knew that they'd be broken and everything like that. They were just taken by the homeless. And honestly, what do the homeless use it for? but to take recycles or to take maybe food type things out of trash can. And if they have a cut on their finger and they're going in the trash, they can get infected. So I'm not encouraging by any means, because that means I'd be losing a lot. But what they use it for is kind of, it's a health and safety thing also. So it's cool.
Yeah. We have any speaker slips, James?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Anybody have any questions? David?
Well, one, thank you for doing this, both from the altruistic aspect of it, but the environmental aspect as well. It's kind of appropriate that you're presenting to us as a community-oriented policing committee, because have you heard of the broken window theory? The broken window theory is that if you have a building or you have a place that is run down and you have a broken windows, that more than likely someone will throw another rock to break the other windows, and the degradation of the area will increase. And so by doing this, you're actually doing a service to the community by negating that aspect of the broken window theory, improving the overall condition of parks, encouraging people to use the parks, and creating a safe and welcoming environment. So you're, in your own way, you are promoting good quality community-oriented policing. So I applaud you on that. Also, I want to give you my card, because I know of many other communities in the East region who would, I'm sure, love to utilize the services that are available by doing this. And the commitment to community and the commitment to increasing overall public wellness is just amazing. So thank you for that. Thank you for the work you do. And I definitely want to keep in touch with you.
All right, thank you. Yeah, Eric King is one of the first people I touched base with at the park, and he was telling me how that community would definitely, he knew that they'd get into it with the dog walkers and the pickleball people and all that. So,
Mark?
Appreciative of the of the science that you've put behind
love it.
behind some of this. I wasn't really expecting to hear that the data was tracked and showing the changes and whatnot. So kudos for that. And you just mentioned dog walkers. I spend a huge chunk of my time in Mission Trails, which is a huge park, 8,000 square acres or maybe more than that now. But also the other places in the community, and doggy poo bags left behind by the walkers. I think I kind of get a little bit of the intention and the motivation of bagging it up but just leaving it behind. I don't buy that most of them plan to come back to pick it up, but it does get left behind in the weirdest places. Sometimes it gets hidden in various places. Little nuggets around most of the trails around here along the river, down the Mass Park and whatnot. And I can just envision people having access to something like this, to be able to pick up behind somebody else who's picked up behind their dog, maybe, is a great benefit, kind of going along with what David was saying, it just makes it a little more enticing, a little more inviting to be there. Or, stepping out of the car and having to step over the poo bags and whatnot. So I don't know what the research might show on that specific type of litter, but it's certainly a challenge in most of the places that I go of finding these things left behind. And there's an intention behind it. It's a little different than taking a pack of gum and just throwing it away or dropping a cigarette butt. There's an intention to bagging something up, tying it, and then hiding it behind something or just leaving it there. So I don't understand the psychology behind it. I try. So
That's your job, though.
every once in a while, there's a mystery.
Human behavior.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I'm just real impressed that you just have this great positive aura about you, and it's just, and I love your picture of you in the high school yearbook. That's cool.
There's another one too of me with a knife when I was dressed up on dress-up day. I'm thinking, it's a hunting knife. You can't bring that to school anymore, man. So,
And remain employed.
yeah.
Captain?
Yes, sir. This is awesome. We as a department like to find community relations opportunities. I would love if our deputies go out to a park, for example, and go throughout the park, pick up some trash, and we'll take some photos. Would you be okay if we post them and if we tag you on X?
Definitely.
I just want to make sure we got your permission.
you have
Okay.
my permission.
Okay, we'll make it happen soon.
I don't
Thanks,
do
sir.
enough of that myself.
All right, stand by. I'm going to put something into context here for you, David, regarding the broken window theory. So that was highlighted in a 1946 film called It's a Wonderful Life. You may have recalled. For you younger people, you may not. But the star in that was a guy by the name of Jimmy Stewart. And you remember they were throwing rocks at an old house. That was the broken window theory, and it wasn't resolved until George Mary Bailey bought that
right.
old house and stopped the broken window continuum.
That's
Just
what
a
it's-
piece of trivia for you.
I
Great.
appreciate that, Mr. Mayor, because I actually did not know that.
But you're probably not old enough.
Mayor, do you
I've seen
remember?
the movie.
Do you remember? I think his name was Al Hyder. He was Operation Safe Streets back when we were young, and he always talked.
Bob
about
Hyder.
Bob Hyder. Yeah, I wonder what happened to that guy. He did. Great.
I do know that if I ring a bell, an angel will get its wings.
There you go.
And very good.
I salivate.
All right.
Psychology.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff going on here today. Well, you know what? Thanks a lot, Gary. Really appreciate you coming out.
Thank you.
All right, then. Let's see. Anybody from the Community Core Values Committee there have an update or anything?
Mr. Mayor, a couple of things. One, in alignment with, community and promoting community, on May 31st, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Santee Pride Walk and Festival will be happening at the Santee United Methodist Church at 8964 North Magnolia here in wonderful Santee. And if folks are interested in more information, they can visit santeemc.org/pride. It's santeeumc.org/pride. And I will be there and hope to see many of you there celebrating the diversity and community of Santee.
Thank you. Mark, did you have anything for us?
Nothing formal other than May is Mental Health Awareness Month. For me, it's every month, but just to remind people of projects like this, the Total Altruism Project. It doesn't take much to help ourselves feel better or to help somebody else feel better. And sometimes we never know when we're the one contact in somebody's life to just keep them from taking one step in maybe a permanent direction. So just bring that back up in awareness, keep it percolating and bubbling. And
Great. Well, thank you. Okay, that takes us to item number 6, with this communication from committee and staff members. Let me just go down the road here. Mark? Mike? David?
Just taking a point of personal privilege to pay tribute to a person who's no longer on this dais and just say thank you to former city manager Marlene Best for her years of service to this community, to her service to this committee, and her joy for the city of Santee. And so I appreciate that. I know that the transition is happening, and so I look forward to meeting the new city manager and the acting city manager. And thank you very much.
Thanks. Brian?
Nope, thank you.
Anything?
Well, the doctor stole my thunder, so.
It's one heck of a storm. Michael?
Actually, David brought up Chris and Dare not being here. So that made me think. The street fair is coming up on Saturday, the 24th, coming up pretty quick. So I know this. Put on my chamber hat for a second. There's still that's going to be a big community event, and I hope to see everybody out there.
Great. Anything else? Mr. Ledger? Aldo?
As requested, we have the traffic overview with our citations and collisions for April of 2025. Collisions per CAD, we had 46. The top locations for collisions were 101 TCP at Costco with only 2, Graves and Prospect 2, Mission Gorge Cuyamaca 2, and Mission Gorge Carlton Hills 2. Citations 289, not including parking citations or warnings. A lot of people get warned, so these numbers are only the people that got cited. The top locations were Mission Gorge and Fanita with 11, Woodglen Vista and Timberlane with 10, and as you can see below, some lower numbers throughout the city. We always allocate our resources wherever we get either complaints or we get the biggest concentration of needs, right? But we frequently either hear from the traffic division or our elected officials or the city manager, and we allocate our resources as requested. And besides that, if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Or lastly, we will also be at the Special Olympics this Saturday. So it's a great event. Anybody that is free, please join us. It's a really, really nice time.
Thanks. You have anything for us, sir? Mm-hmm. You're here. We give you an opportunity to speak, whether you want to or not.
Can I ask a question about the?
No, your time's up.
Thank you.
What do you want?
The DUI arrests. Were those scattered throughout Santee, or were they localized to a particular area? Do you know?
I'm sorry, I did see it down there and I forgot to mention it. They're throughout the city. Our deputies are, if it's not related to a DUI checkpoint, for example, then it could be anywhere within city limits. Our deputies don't really go outside of city limits because of the contract. So I don't have any specific locations, but it's within the city of Santee.
All right, thanks. Is that it, Mr. Shorey? Yes, sir. All right, then, we will hold over our action item number 2, approval of minutes. Danette is a non-voting member.
I'm just here for my stunning good looks, sir.
And personality.
Winning personality, I'll try both.
So don't ever interrupt me again, okay? I'm sorry, I just got to have fun with you guys today. So anyhow, we will, James, carry the minutes over to the June 9th, 2025 meeting. And let's make some phone calls, see if we can get some folks out here so we can get a quorum to vote on all these past minutes.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate that. All right, if we don't have anything else, meeting is adjourned.